Alright, I am here to explain the lore of Discord Incrementals, the server that I am hosting. So, this is a pretty good, explainer image, but it's not the best. So let me clear it all. Alright, so, as far as as far as the server goes, we have our individual games. Our games like, say, Stone Incremental. And we also have, Combat Incremental right here. So let me draw a better circle. I'm terrible at this. I'll just grab the circle tool. Oh, wait, that's not good. I'll just use outwards, because I'm more familiar with that. Boom. And then I'll go back to draw tool and CI. Now, these are our universes. Each game generally takes place in its own universe, or whatever is specified within the lore. Now, there's a larger container. In this case, we generally call it the multiverse. Now, in this case, CI and SI, they're in the same multiverse. I suppose you could go opposite. CI and SI, they're in the same multiverse. So we could label this with an M, because it's a multiverse. And there are more containers in here. I don't know why I drew that so weird. Let me just grab my circle tool again and just draw a smooth circle. And maybe this is the oh my god. Maybe this is the omniverse. Right? So this could be maybe the omniverse, I'll label it with O, and whatever. And there's technically infinite layers. There's like as many shells as you want. So I could just, keep adding shells and keep coming up with new names for them. It doesn't actually matter. Now, each game takes place in its own area, its own subsect of rings. So, now if we want to find the universe in, say, this layer, we'd have to draw a whole bunch more layers, because there's 4 layers we have to go through to get to universe again. So if I draw those, and so there is our game, right in there. Now, of course, in reality, all of these are scaled, and each of these layers is generally infinite, unless specified none by the creator of each game. So each game is connected, but they can be connected through arbitrarily many shells, which is weird, but it's basically so that you can have as much distance from any one universe as you want. You can have as much distance from anything as you want, and the rules are kind of blurry. So now let's talk about specific entities and their abilities to, cross realities. So in this case, I'm going to start deleting these outer shells, and I'm going to redraw the omniverse to be much larger. And maybe this is actually Discord Incremental, I don't know. But this is the largest shell, the Discord server itself. Somewhere in here, in one of the layers, probably just omniverse, but I don't know, is the... Oh wait, I should probably draw a good circle. Sorry. Is the... where should I draw it? Maybe here? I'll just put ESA, but this is ESA RPG. Actually, no, maybe I'll do this. Now, this world is for ESA RPG, which is obviously one of the games. Although it's dead now, it had a bunch of cool entities. And one of the entities, which was God of the Multiverse, was able to cross out of its multiverse into other multiverses, which is how we know the ESA RPG and the SICI multiverses are actually contained in the same omniverse. And that's why I said that earlier, although it can be confusing because there might be more layers, there probably isn't. At the very least, that's what it's defaulting to for now, unless further specification by the authors. But I think, given that ESA RPG and Combat Incremental are both done, and I own Stone Incremental, probably fine. So, they're in the same basic container, so they'd be in one like this. Kind of a bit difficult to make it not work. Ignore the crossover there, that's just, I'm not good at drawing. And so then here, that God of the Multiverse was able to kind of sense that there were other multiverses. It was kind of able to sense that this area existed, so it was able to cross out. But the main reason it figured all the stuff out is because of the character Random. Now this character being played by me, essentially, is the storyteller for these universes. Now, in this case, I'm going to have to go up a layer. And so in this case, this is a set of realities all its own. I did not erase what's going on over there. I'm simply on a new layer. So you see, if I turn this layer off, the rest pops up. So in this case, this would kind of be, so the relationship between this layer of reality and the lower layer of reality would be like the relationship between you and a story you write, or a game you play. It's, to you, just normal fiction. If you want to go 2 layers down, that would be like intervening in a story that's contained in a story. For instance, if you're writing a book about a character that's writing a book, well, you can control both of those. And so in general, any being in a higher level of reality can change a being in a lower reality, or control lower layers of reality. So this layer of reality, in this case, this is where the random character is from. This is where, she went and she made these 2 universes. And she made an entity in these universes called V. Yes, just a letter of the alphabet. As it never got a full name, and it's a god, so it never bothered to name itself. Although there is a semi-human name for it. No one's discovered it because because it didn't really work out well. So anyways, I'm just gonna label it as V. Now V has already consumed most of this multiverse and has actually killed off the CI multiverse. Basically, the idea is V created both SI and CI to control, how is this? Basically, it created them as traps for beings of higher layers of reality. Or at least, that's how it created CI. So CI was created as a trap for beings from the higher layer of reality, so it could study them and figure out how to get to that higher layer of reality. Essentially, it's trying to break into real life. Now, SI was V tried to create a robot. The idea being, if people from that higher level of reality control a robot that gets more powerful, they can destroy as many multiverses or universes or whatever as V wants, essentially destroying any major creature, anything that could stand in its way, could be destroyed this way. Now, after all of the research that it could do was done in CI, it destroyed that universe, which is why CI is now in the archives. There was no point to it, so V just destroyed it. V is also now taken over an account on the Discord Incrementals server. It was originally named Random Developer number 76I, but now it's named but now it has a display name of question mark, because it's owned by V. And that's the main idea. Now, of course, somewhere in here is like all of them. In this case, there's somewhere bad circle drawing. Somewhere in here is going to be, SCI, and I can just zoom into this lower universe entirely, lower reality. Sorry. What just happened? I'm just gonna fix my writing, because it's very bad. Now, this is everything. There's more things to it, and there's more complications. For instance, somewhere in here is LI, Light Incremental. Now, originally, Light Incremental was meant to interact with Combat Incremental and Stone Incremental, meaning technically the dead Light Incremental universe might be interpreted as a failed version of Stone Incremental, an idea because it never really got implemented, but we don't know that for sure. There's also going to be more incrementals in everything, and the storyline with V is not even close to done. We might even see a V versus L battle, which could be really cool, because L from ESRPG, which is kind of dead, L might be able to challenge V, at least for a bit. We don't know, as V is just absurdly powerful and has destroyed an infinite number of infinitely large universes, meaning it probably scales infinitely, but maybe there's some trick to it that we don't know. That's where we're at. There's a lot of unknowns because a lot of the lore hasn't been decided yet. But that's a good explainer and a start for the lore. And hopefully that clears some things up. Bye!